Welcome back with Marriage with the Rocks, and we're excited to start a new kind of series.
I'm excited.
Are you excited?
We're starting a real
I
series.
know. Well, we got some good ideas coming off of a Bible verse found in Mark chapter 10, verses 8 through 9, where Jesus states, "And the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate." And
So this is a verse that he's referencing a verse from Genesis.
mhm,
And so he's talking about this and the idea of, okay, God has made you man and woman.
mhm.
You're to become one in marriage. And so we've been wondering.
Well, what's so interesting with that is that right away I think you think, oh, we become one in marriage because you start. I mean, you're together, you're living together, you change names. I just think of intimacy and even like all of that.
Sex.
And it's like, oh, once we started talking more about this, you're like, no, they're like becoming one flesh is more than just that. And
Yeah.
so getting these new ideas. So I started reading this book by Gary Thomas and Dr. Stephen Rebecca Wilkie. It's titled 9 Essential Conversations Before You Say I Do. I had a chapter on this whole idea of becoming one flesh. And we came upon this quote, kind of struck us, and we're going to use it for the next couple of videos.
So this one really hit me when Andrew read this. It says this: by agreeing to marry each other, you are establishing a priority of commitment. Your calendar is no longer your own. Your money is no longer your own. Whether or how you take care of your body is no longer solely up to you. Somebody else has a vested interest in you and all aspects of your life. And then they end with this: in one sense, the greatest adultery in marriage is often selfishness. So that's the one thing that we're going to pull from it. But it's helped us think through this question of, okay, if we're meant to be one, what are the things in our life that keep us from being one or maybe distract us or whatever? And so we've thought of this idea of, okay, how does X affect our marriage? And we've got a few different topics. So we're going to jump through. So tonight we're going to talk about
how does my phone affect my marriage?
how does my phone affect my marriage?
So right away, I think we can think of both positive and negative. So we thought we're just going to name a couple of positive things that how it has impacted our marriage. And one thing is just a shared calendar.
Shared calendar.
Brian finally got me away from the paper calendars.
Yeah, it was a lot of work to get her to use the Apple Calendar, but we're doing great
It
with
was, yeah. And the paper calendar was just on the fridge, but for some reason Brian couldn't.
I'd never seen it before.
I
don't think it ever existed.
So that has helped because now we both can put just our.
It's helped us stay connected. Like text messaging is so easy. We can do that during the day. It can be like a tool for like good things. So I've been tracking my calories on my phone.
Nice job. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I track them and they're many more than I should have eaten, but at least I'm tracking them. So we're giving it a shot. So there are good things to phone. We don't mean to say that this thing is just the devil. It's not. It's how you use it.
Yeah, it's another just tool to stay connected. And so just ways to let each other know that we're thinking about each other, saying we're praying for you, or just even having fun with Instagram reels. So
good times.
Thought of that. I also thought another thing we love is just that shared grocery list. It's like, oh, whoever's going by the groceries.
Could we get any more domestic? I can't think of anything more fun than a shared grocery list. Okay.
Efficiency.
Brian Rock's screen time so far this week, average per day, 3 hours and 57 minutes. It's only the second day of the week.
That is way less than what you told me yesterday.
It'll probably end up by the end of the week. It's often been 5 and 6, which is not good. So keep an eye on your screen time because that's 6 hours that who knows what I'm doing.
So with that kind of leads us into then starting to think about how does our phone negatively impact our marriage, because that's something that you should be mindful of and talk to your spouse about. Like how does the phone affect our marriage?
Yeah.
So
first way for me is the phone's a distraction. It's intentionally a distraction. Like that's where I go to kind of numb my brain, to escape stress, those types of things. And so whether that's Instagram Reels, whether that's ESPN.com, whether it's a Vikings podcast, whatever that looks like. It is, in many ways, for me, it's that distraction, which in the past has been TV and talk radio and whatever. And so this is just another one of those things that can be a distraction. Not all of that's a bad thing. Like I need some time away from that, but I don't need 6 hours, I'll tell you that much.
You mean that you need time away from like the stress or just
like it's okay
like a
for
break,
me to
taking a break.
like I need a break every now and then, and it's okay to I'm gonna laugh at some Instagram reels for 15 minutes, or I'm gonna just read Wall Street Journal for whatever. And so those are good things, or can be okay, but are they the best things? And they're certainly, if I'm doing them for 6 hours, it's certainly not good for my marriage. So yeah.
One thing I was thinking about is just the comparison. So when I'm on my phone and the apps that I'm on, whether it's Amazon or Instagram, and just getting ideas of fashion or house projects, different things I wish I could do, then I can easily become distracted and discontent. And the way that impacts my marriage, or at least I am assuming, is that puts the pressure on you too of, oh, my wife's not content, and just it can
things.
Create.
One of my favorite things that you'll share with me every now and then are floor plans for new homes. We have not talked about building a new home, but you sure do like looking at floor plans.
Yeah, I think it's kind of fun. It's like playing house.
Like playing house. And then I'm like,
oh, would I like this floor plan? Ooh. And sometimes I like them, and sometimes like, oh, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, whoever did that floor plan, they're a moron. But yeah, exactly. Like that comparison thing. How that affects me then is exactly as you said. I'm just like, oh, I need to provide something more. I'm not measuring up in Andrea's eyes. That could be a problem. So, a third way, your phone can be a source of temptation. It can be a source of lust. It can be a source of greed. It can be a number of different things. But it is just an easy thing to like, hey, I've got access to the entire internet here. I can go and look at pictures or whatever. And so that can cause a wedge in a marriage. And it's, I think, as technology continues to further, like our access gets more and more and more, and it gets more instant and more instant and more instant. And so like we have to be really wise and really smart. And that's certainly been an area for me that's been a temptation.
Because like how that impacts your marriage is it just breaks down trust, and then that breaks down intimacy
for sure.
So another thing, which I guess leads to, is just how your phone can also, like time on your phone can create just a distance, and all of a sudden you're missing intimacy moments, and that you think of sex right away, but it could just even be like time time just talking, or time just being together.
No, I thought of sex right away.
Yeah, see? And so that's something too, like when you think about your phone and the time that you spend on it.
Yep.
And then just think about how that impacts your marriage, and it literally can take you just away from.
Yeah.
Like even when we go out to eat, you just even think about how being on your phone can cause distance. And so just that.
Next time you go to a restaurant, look around and see who's on a date, and see how many of those people are on their phones.
Okay. I will.
And if you see us on our phones, please don't tell us. How dare you? Okay, so these are things that can cause distance, can be make it harder to become one in your marriage. So what do you do about them?
So I think one thing is just really thinking about, okay, where are some areas where we're just not bringing our phone? And so when we go to the kitchen table, when we have dinner together, and our family, we've kind of installed this. It's like, we're not bringing our phones. We're not on our phones. We're actually going to be in conversation.
Another thing, check your screen time. I mean, like there's something about just looking and being like, how is it possible that I've spent that much time? Check that. Maybe make some, put some time limits on social media and Instagram. Like,
or if you're going to play a game, like you could just put a timer on your.
Yeah, I need new games. I'm bored with them anyway. So if you got any ones that you think are good.
Or no new games, because then it just opens up your calendar.
Because then we'd have more intimacy moments.
Oh, see where you're going with that?
Ew.
It's all working. It's working.
Share your passwords.
Yeah, we were talking about this actually, strangely enough, in my classroom today. We were doing articles on social media, and we were talking about why wouldn't you share your password? Well, usually you don't share your password because you want to hide something.
Right.
And just the students were talking about how when you do share your password, it builds loyalty and it builds trust. Well, that totally does that in your marriage. And so I have nothing to hide. And it's also, if Brian were to check my phone or grab my phone, like, I shouldn't feel attacked. It literally should be something I welcome, because that's what it does. It just it kind of shines the light and keeps the light on everything.
Anything that is only our own and just for us as an individual is something that can create a place to hide. And so whether that's your phone, whether that's how you spend your money, finances, whatever, the two shall become one. It doesn't say the two shall become one, kind of. It says, no, you're one. And so there shouldn't be acceptable secrets. There shouldn't be, unless you're getting me a really cool birthday present, you shouldn't tell me, that type of thing. So, yeah, there you go.
That's good.
Have a chat with your spouse or your loved one, significant other.
And just the question would be is, how does my phone affect our relationship? And see where that takes you. And our hope is that it opens up some good conversation, and maybe raw conversation, where you can be honest with each other and vulnerable and set up some new boundaries. So
I love setting boundaries. You gonna say goodbye?
Okay. Until next time.